Hi viewers, today is a training session. This session is going to be the first of many other trainings, subsequent trainings you'll be having on creating wealth. Enough is enough for many Ghanaians, many Africans to dwell in poverty. In fact, there is a saying that poverty is a disease, and I concur, I believe. And as a disease, it can be treated. In fact, when you are sick and you go to hospital, you expect that you get treatment from your doctor. The same way, poverty can be treated. And the treatment to poverty is knowledge. The Bible even says that for lack of knowledge, my people would perish. So when you have the right knowledge to creating wealth, you can also create wealth, because creating wealth is an act which everyone can learn. So today we are going to begin a series of teachings on creating wealth, which will also zoom us into other important things like finances, relationships, and health. And I invite all of you to join us in this series. One, subscribe to our channel. Two, comment, like, and share. And if you want to join us also, you can contact us, in the comment section that you want to join, or we'll put a number on the screen. You can WhatsApp us that you want to join this network. We are growing a network of people that we believe can be trained to become millionaires. So if you are in Ghana, you want to be a millionaire, join this network, and your life will never be the same. Let's watch today's episode, and if you like it, share it with your friend. Thank you. So we have been having this series of trainings on leadership with our MTP class. Today is a special one. I believe that in a way we train people to become doctors, we train people to become lawyers, we train engineers, the same way we can train ourselves in the act of creating wealth. One of the core objectives of what we are doing, our mission for the Mindset Transformation Program, is not just to train people to be leaders, but to be responsible leaders. And as we all know, responsibility comes with accountability. Accountability here means if somebody comes to you and say, I'm in need, you can't ask them to go. You need to have money. You need to be able to support them with resources and all that. And we know these things don't come just because you want them. So today we are going to start a series of courses, which one I have called the act of wealth creation. Okay, the act of creating what? So the question is, are we able to create wealth? Are we able to create wealth? The answer is yes. We can create wealth. So it's worth creating something that can be transferred from one person to another. The answer is yes. Then how do we create wealth? Now, the first definition we need to understand is this. The question is, what is wealth? What is wealth? I think I will invite two of you to tell me what you are thinking is on this subject. When you say wealth, what is wealth? Who may want to help? What is wealth? When you hear this word, I'm sure you've been hearing it a lot. You don't necessarily have to give the dictionary definition. You can tell me what you think about the subject. What is wealth?
My literal meaning, I think, is somebody who owns properties.
Okay.
An example, maybe lands, maybe real estate.
Okay.
So I consider those things to be wealth.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Not
Thank you.
necessarily money.
Okay. So the next understanding of wealth is somebody who owns lands, somebody who owns real estate and properties. Okay. Thank you very much. Any more?
I would want to define wealth as when you have resources that are more than what you need for your sustenance.
Okay. Thank you very much. So Dr. Rosemond said, wealth is someone who has more than what you need for our sustenance. All right. Thank you very much. All these definitions are very good definitions of wealth. Now, when we think of wealth, I want us to think about three things. Okay. Number one thing you should think about when you think of wealth is one, finance. Okay. Number 2, when you think of wealth, it's your health. And number 3 is what? Family or relationship. If I give you $1 million today, but the condition is tomorrow by 2 p.m., you'll be dead, how many of you accept it? If I give you $1 million today, but that one condition, you get this money for only 24 hours, how many of you accept it? I don't think anybody wants to enjoy such a money. But do you know some people are living their life like that? Some people are doing a job they are not happy with. And gradually, every day, even on their way to work, they are complaining and they are dying slowly. So having money is not worth. You can have money, but if you are dying, it's not worth. The reason for having money is so that you also have what? Good health, and also what? Good family life. If you have money, you have wealth, but you don't have people to enjoy it, is that what you call wealth? But do you know there are people who have money, they have good health, but they don't have what? The right relationship. How many of you want that? In fact, the reason why you should have wealth is to enjoy with your loved ones. So if you have money, you have health, but you don't have a good relationship, then your life is as miserable as anything or any person. In the same way, you may have health. If you don't have money and you don't have good relationship, it's nothing. So this 3 is very, very important. As long as we are talking of wealth, don't only think of money. You must be rich financially, you must be rich with your health, and you must be rich with your family life. So what we are going to discuss is centered on these 3 things. Okay? But for the purpose of our discussion, we are going to take them step by step. So first we will talk about what? Finance. Then later we talk about what? Health. So when we have this, then we come here. Okay, is that okay? It doesn't mean this is more important than this. We are not doing them in that proportion or in that order, but for the purpose of our discussion. So first, let's start with our financial wealth. Okay, so let's talk about finances. Now, there are 3 principles. There are what? 3 principles we are going to learn today when you talk of financial wealth. Number 1 principle: T is not equal to money, where T is time, M equals to money. Okay. Have you heard that? Have you heard this myth that time is money? Have you heard of this before? Okay. Today you're going to unlearn that information. Time is not equal to money. In fact, you have to say this several times to yourself until it gets into your what? Subconscious mind. Time is not equal to money. Somebody says, "Oh, you're wasting my time. Time is money." Do you know? Time is not equal to money. And I'm going to explain to you why this is not true. Hello? Right. So, when we say time is not money, it also means that time is greater than what? Money. Which means that time is more valuable than what? Money. So the first scenario I made, that if you're given $1 million what? Dollars today, but you're supposed to die in the next 24 hours. Is that money more valuable than time? No. But what if somebody says, I'm going to give you some set of principles, okay, and knowledge and experience. Within 5 years, you will make $1 million. Will you go for that? But do you know a lot of people don't know that time is more important than money? A lot of people actually think time is equal to money. Some even think money is more what? Important than what? Time. If you think money is important than time, that is where you go and stand by the roadside and wait for somebody who may have HIV or whatever disease to sleep with you for money. Or you go with guns, with weapons at night, hunting for people who have money. Because you know when you are caught, you can be what? Be killed, you can go to jail for life. Because they think that money is important than what? Time. Some people risk their life to do all sorts of things just for what? Money. And I'm sure a lot of examples are going through your head. But today we're learning that time is more important than money. Are we clear?
Yes.
Now, another example is that, have you ever heard that somebody had a lot of money, but for whatever reason, they lost all the money? But with time and patience and perseverance, they learned the ways of making the money again, and they recreated their wealth. How many of you have heard of such a story? Very true. So that should tell you that your time is more important than money. So the greatest asset you have right now is not the money in your account. The greatest asset you have right now, greatest asset you have as a human being right now, greatest asset is what? Time. So from today, understand that your time, your life, and when I talk about time, I'm not talking about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, no, I'm talking about the life you have. It's more important than what? Money. Now let's do this analogy. You'll be doing a lot of math, so don't be bothered if you don't understand anything. Can I clean this?
Yes.
All right. We are still talking about time. Okay? Today, I was having a discussion on my law school class page. It's still on my phone. Later, I can show you. Somebody said getting first class is more important than being given $1 million. In fact, he said if he's given $1 million, he will reject he will reject the money. But if he's given first class, he'll go for it. And I said, this guy is cool. He's not educating himself. Now, why did I say that? All of you know we are in Ghana. How many first class students end up becoming rich? In fact, we get a lot of first class students every year, right? From the faculties in Ghana. But do we hear that any of these first class students have become millionaires? No. So it's not about the first class, but it's about what? Your mindset. So mindset is so important. And mindset you not have the right mindset just because you want it. The right mindset comes with what? Conscious effort and training. Like this kind of meeting. When you come here, you hear that time is more valuable than what? Than money. Now let's talk about time. I don't know how many years you have left. But even let's assume you are 40 years. Okay? Let's assume you are 40 years. Do you know something in this world that is inevitable that all of us will face in this life? Death.
Yeah.
If you are still here and perhaps you think you live forever, praise God, maybe porta placenta. Or maybe one day we will get the cure to death. But until we get the cure, everybody will die. In fact, it's the most bitterest truth to hear that. It's not the case. But eventually, if today as we speak, somebody has died, tomorrow people are going for somebody's what? Funeral. So death is inevitable. So let's assume you are 40 years and you are going to live even 100 years, which in most cases we don't what? Rich. Do you know the how do you call it? The lifespan of the average Ghanaian according to the last population census? Who can tell me or who can guess?
Around 50 to 65%.
Yes, it's 62. 62.2. This is according to statistics. They said this is the number of years every Ghanaian averagely, people live up to, which means it can be less, it can be more, right? But you let's even say you live up to 100 years. God will bless you. If you are 40 years, how many years do you have left? 60. You have 60 years. Now, you need to check how many seconds, how many hours, or even how many seconds, how many minutes, how many hours, how many days, how many months or weeks, how many months you have. If you do this calculation, you'll be shocked that the seconds you have, and you know seconds is gone. You do this calculation. How many months make a year? 12, right? So if you want to know the number of months you have, you multiply this by what? 60. You know the number of months you what? The number of months you have, right? If you want to know the number of weeks, 52, right? 52 times 12 times what? 60. You get the number of what? Weeks. You can do this calculation by yourself. If you want to know the number of hours, 60 times. So you come to appreciate that every time you have is what? Precious. And even this 100 years we are talking about is uncertain. We don't know when the next disease. No, I mean, I'm not trying to put fear in you. That is not the focus of the discussion. But what I'm trying to tell you is that if you understand these dynamics, you know that every minute you have counts. Every time you have, even right now, it counts. So the question is, why all this? What am I teaching you all day when you're talking about money? I want you to know that making wealth is not something you think about tomorrow. In fact, if it's part of your plans, it starts now. And every step, every action we take is so important that these things, they don't understand. Oh, I was joking. Oh, I was not serious. In fact, every decision you make at every hour, at every second counts. Are you getting the point? Because it's the second that accumulate to become what? The minute. The minute accumulate to become what? The hours. The hours becomes what? The days. The days becomes what? The weeks. The weeks become the month. The month becomes the years. So if your plan is to be a millionaire in the next 5 years, every second matters. Are we getting it?
Yes.
Good. Now, today my argument with my class was that let's assume you are paid 20,000 a month, which a lot of people don't get in Ghana. Right? Let's assume you're paid 20,000 what? Cedis a month. If you're paid this amount of money every month, let's assume your expenses are 10,000, which is half of the what? Half of this money. So you have how much left? 10,000 left. So this money, let's assume you save this money every year. Every month, sorry, you save this money. Do you know how much it will take you to get $1 million by saving this year? Who can guess? When you save this money every month, 10,000 every month, do you know how much it will take you? Now let's assume the dollar rate for Ghana is now 12.5, right? 12.5 times 1 million is what? Which is 12.5 million, right? Right?
Yeah.
This divided by 10,000. When you do this calculation, you understand that you need about 104.667 years to get $1 million. Can you imagine? And if you how old are you now? If you are 40 years, you need to work 40 years to make $1 million. 10,000 cities. 10,000 cities, my friend. 10,000. And how many Ghanaians can save 10,000 cities a month for 100 years, even for 50 years? That means if everything works equally, even for every Ghanaian to save 10,000, can we ever get a millionaire in Ghana? So it is so important we understand that when you say I want to be a millionaire, it's not a prayer point. In fact, people go for the prayer meetings, they do all sorts of direction and things, but that will not make you money. Hello? So this is just one of them. Think about it. I'm sure by now some of you, your eyes are getting open, right?
Yeah.
And are you grateful for this information? Number two thing I want you to know about making money. In fact, we will take time later on and go through all this step by step. Today is the introduction part. So, number two, we have talked about time is what? More valuable than what? Money. Number two is value. Have you heard of this word before? Value. 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 This is what most people are lacking in our day. In fact, I was telling some people last time that our school system teaches us what to think, but they don't teach us how to what? Think. That is our issue. Do you know that you can never in this world accumulate wealth financially, without adding value to life? And bringing value on the marketplace is not about copying. You know, in Ghana, it's very common. Somebody sees somebody selling Indomie on the roadside. So the next day, they also what? Go and sell Indomie. Somebody sees someone selling pure water. The next day, what? So people don't sit down to think, to come up with something meaningful. They all copy. Even this thing I'm doing, if I put on YouTube, the next day somebody will come and teach something on YouTube. Because we think by copying, things, it's easy to get to where other people are getting to. In fact, it will amaze you to know that the things people are copying because they have seen others do, it's not where they're making their money from. You understand? Some people have other sources of what? Making money. So what you see is not all there is. Okay, so let's talk about value. I want you to know, and this is one of the greatest secrets to success. And I believe once we focus on these three things we are talking about, none of us here in the next 5 years will not be a millionaire. And I believe so, if you're able to go by those values. Now, understand that you should focus more on value instead of what? Money. I'm sure all of us want results, right? Hello? We all what? We want the results. If I ask you, how many of you want $1 million? You raise your hand. How many of you want a beach house? You raise your hand. How many of you want a good vacation? You raise your hand. How many of you want to drive this car? You raise your hand. That is what? Resource. That is resource. We want the resource. But before you get a resource, what must you do? You must do something. And the thing you must do is you must learn to what? Add value. From today, have this in your subconscious mind that I'm a plus. I'm a plus. I add what? Value. I am a value addition. Wherever you find yourself, and these things that it comes small. It's not some big thing. No, it comes small. Wherever you find yourself, ask yourself, what value can I bring to this place? Even this room, we are here trying to do this, do that. The question you should be asking yourself, what value can I bring to this place? And when you start thinking like that, you're already on your journey. Let me tell you, there are so many issues, so many problems in this world. And everybody is looking for what? Solution. Once you becomes one of the solution givers to many of these issues, you are rich. And you know the interesting thing? Every issue comes with what? A solution. And do you know another interesting thing they never told you? You here, you are what? A solution provider to one of these. In your own what? Unique way. Hello? Right. Have you noticed that in this world, we have different races of people, right? We have Asians, we have Africans, we have white. Even among the white, we have so many different races. Why? That is called what? Diversity. So, the way other people solve a particular issue you will solve it what? In a different manner. And in most cases, yours will be much more better than what? The previous one. Can we give an example? One person one time invented what? A mobile phone, right? The first, who knows the first mobile phone to be invented? What? Yes, that was the first mobile phone. How many of you today uses that phone? Somebody else came to add on, right? We had what? Nokia. We had different phones. Then Steve Jobs came and said, "Oh, we need a phone that you don't need flat screen, flat." And now everybody is using a phone like that. In fact, it will be more embarrassing if your phone you are still using in our day. But before, it was on top of the day. To have that kind of Motorola, that means your guy, they used to put it here. Yes. you get it? But somebody came, the same method, the same mobile phone, but they added value. That is what I'm talking about. Remember, before we used to sell water in a cap, rubber cap. Those of you many years, I don't know if you even go for a funeral, they put ice in water. There's a cap, they give it to you. Later we migrated from that to what? Rubber. You know that kind of rubber. Then they will use a sieve. They'll put the water so that the sieve will take away all the dirt. Then you'll be carrying it in town with ice. Then we migrated from there. Then we came to that sachet water, right? Now we are using bottle. When you go to some places, they use what? Glass. Am I lying? Glass bottle. I hope you are getting it. So these are all innovation. You add on to what is already what? Existing. That is it. That is value addition. Value addition. So you have to look around you. Look around you. A lot of things are happening. The question is, even with the current issues or current stuff we have, there are a lot of issues. People are complaining. Oh, this phone, I wish it was like this. Oh, this food is like this. Oh, this. Then that is where the what? Solution is. You look for what people are complaining about. And when you see that, oh, a lot of people are talking about this particular thing, then you can see that there is money there. Okay? So we are done with number 2. Are we clear with that? Let's go to number 3. Number 3 is the last we'll talk about today. And we are done. Number 3 is selling is the highest value in the world. You see, when we were going to school, nobody told us that being a salesperson or selling is the highest value. They told us, oh, go to school, get first class, be first in class, then become a doctor, become a lawyer, become whatever, a nurse. And you're good to go because somebody will pay you every month. But one thing they forgot to tell us is this word, selling. In fact, we even think those who don't have jobs go to do what? Sales. Have you heard of that before? They think that people who don't have any good job to do are those who sell. If you don't have a job, then you are a salesperson. I don't blame them because the salespeople we see are not giving us any reason to believe that sales is a good job. Okay. No, the question, what is sales? What is selling? I have one of my mentors, he's called Marion Godin. He defines sales as, he says, sales means uncovering what? The value of a product or something to a prospect. Let me write it so that you understand. He says that sales means you are what? Uncovering the value of a product or service to someone. Sales means you're uncovering the value. So You see, most of the time, salesperson or salespeople come to us and say, "Oh, I have this product. This product is very good. If you buy this product, I tell you, you'll be okay." Then that is not sales. That is not sales. The art of sales is where you let people know the value of what you have, and you will not ask them to buy. They will want that value. Who in this world don't want something that will help their life? If I ask you right now, how many of you don't want the latest iPhone? Who who want the latest iPhone? Suppose I'm going to dash you the latest iPhone tomorrow. Don't you want it? How many of you want to drive what car? Bentley or Ferrari? You want it, right? You want to even just sit in the keke. You're okay. How many of you want to travel in the first class?
Yes.
You want it?
Yeah.
Good. So it's good. Why? Because you think of what? The value. Even the image. When you sit in that guy, he owns a Bentley. That guy, he owns this. Oh, he flies in the first class. That value, that feeling you have. When you are selling something, you are uncovering the value of what you have, so that it resonates with the feeling of value that person will what? Enjoy when they have your product. So sales has nothing to do with convincing somebody to buy something. In fact, people get to push it, like they want to go away from those who want to convince them to buy something. So as a salesperson, your work is not to convince people to buy. In fact, you are not in the please buy this. No. Let people know what you have is what they need. I don't know if you understand. And in fact, you are not lying. In fact, if you're selling a product that is not valuable as you are saying, then you are a liar. You are actually a thief. But if you know and you believe in what you have, and you think when they get it, it will add value to their life, then you are good. So in subsequent meetings, we will talk more about this. But today, I think we have learned 3 things. We have learned that, number 1, who can tell me number 1? Time is not equal to what? Money. Number 1. Time, T, is not equal to what? Money. Number 2. Who can tell me number 2? Focus on what? Value. So value greater than what? Money. Okay. And number 3. Selling is what? The greatest value. So sales is the greatest value. Okay. So these are the 3 steps. Now, there is something I want you to know, then we'll close on number 2. Something very important. And we are going to practice this here. And I will see how, let's see how our life will be transformed in the next 1 year. In fact, this is not lotto. So I'm not going to tell you you're going to be a millionaire tomorrow or next week. Those things are gimmicks. It never works. The bets and all those things, I'm sure, I hope people who watch this will not insult me. Yeah. Nobody becomes a millionaire by betting anyway. So, value is greater than what? Time. Value is greater than time. Now, let's look at something. There are 2 things to note here. If you are selling any product and you want to make much more money, okay, 1, your product must add value to people's life. But the easiest way to make much more money is to know your numbers. Numbers are very important. 1 + 1, 2, 2 + 2, 4. You have to know your numbers. So let's assume you are selling water, right? And your focus is to make $1 million a day. But your profit margin is 10% on each. How many bottles must you sell? Plenty. Even if you are to sell 1 million bottles of water, you will not make that much money. You must sell about, 10 million. 10 million bottles in a day. So we said that number 1 under this rule is that low what? Low volume products. Okay, This water is a low what? Low value product. I mean, the value is low. Common water. Let's okay. So low value product, which is low value product, times high what? High volume equals to much more money. Do you understand? So water, your profit margin is what? 10 pesos. Or even let's say, yeah, 10 pesos. 10 pesos. If you sell 10 million, that is high volume, you will get what? 1 million. So you need to sell plenty water. Then the question is, how can you, one person sitting in your room, sell what? 10 million water. So you have to think. That means you need distributors in every region what? In Ghana. Are you getting the point? Before you can make this money what? In a day. So in Ghana we have 16 regions, right? So if you even want to share it equally, that should tell you how many distributors what you need. So this is how you think of business. Number two, let's say you are selling a house at East Legon, which can be $500 what? $1,000. And you want to make 1 million. Your profit is 50,000. How many do you want to sell to make $1 million? Profit margin is $50,000. You only need to sell 20. Okay? Only 20. So if your vision is to make $1 million in a year, you only need what? 20. Now, if you are selling 20 and you divide by the whole year, every month you need to only sell at least 2. Do you get it? In the 10th month, you are gone. You have $1 million. Just focus on selling 2 in a month. Are we good?
Yes.
So we also say that rule number 2 under this one, this 2. High what? Value. High value products. Okay, this is product. High value product times low what? Volume equals to more money, which could be what? 1 million. So here at MTP, currently we have 2 products we are talking about. We are talking about water placenta. We are talking about electric vehicles, right? So if you want to make 1 million, you need to decide which of the 2. Because you know the water placenta, your profit could be $50, $100. It's not a lot, right? So if your vision is to make 1 million, know how many you should sell. But if you want to go for the vehicles, which can make you a profit margin of $3,000 or $4,000, depending on how much you sell it, you should know how much you should sell. So basically, we are going to focus on sales and how to master the art in our subsequent meetings. Thank you very much. Any question? We are done. Any question? Or any contribution? Question, contribution. If you want to talk, I'll give you the mic here.
My question is, as you were saying, selling. I thought I'm having a product and I want to sell. It's like I have to tell you what the product is to convince you. But today you are telling me, no, I need not to convince you.
Yes.
That is where I'm having a challenge. So if you can give more.
Okay. Thank you very much. So the reason why I said selling has nothing to do with convincing is this. Have you eaten today?
Yes.
Will you eat tomorrow?
Yes.
Or somebody convince you to eat? No. So, but the food is not free, right?
Yeah.
But you know you need it. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah.
So if food vendors have to come to your house, please come and eat. Come and eat. Oh, food is good. Come and eat. Then they are convincing you, right? But you know the importance of what? Eating. So you run to eat. So when people know the importance of your product, they will what? Run to you. I don't know if you understand.
Yes.
So when people know the value of what you have, they will run to you. You'll be there and they will line up. But we have to learn these things. I don't know if you get me.
Yes.
That is the focus of this training. We have to learn. Are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay.
Good. Thank you.
Okay, Doc. What I just want to is mine is just a suggestion or let me say contribution
Okay.
as to what he said. So one thing about selling or maybe sales is that you don't just convince people, but then you make your product known to the people by creating a demand. So is the demand that is coming to, let me say, the demand will give you the profit margin or the demand will sell itself. But in the situation whereby there's no demand, it means you have to convince people and then confuse them too as well before you can get the sales. But if the demand is there, as to how he said, well, every day you know that you eat. And as you eat, someone is also maybe selling the food there. So there's a demand there already. So the person don't need to come announce it or come to your house. Maybe I'm selling this or that before you buy. The demand is there already. So in every situation, before you can just be a good marketer or maybe sell more products, at least you have to create the demand first. When the demand is there, you don't need to do the work again. It will come by itself. That's the small thing I would just want to
Okay.
add.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Any more? All right. So if there is nothing, thank you very much. We'll meet again in our next session. But I believe today we have come to understand that one, time is more valuable than what? Money. We need to focus on value instead of money. The last one is we need to think about sales, selling being the highest value. Thank you very much for being here, and we'll continue in our next training. Thank you very much. Thank you, viewers. I'm glad today you learned a great lesson. The three principles of creating wealth. In fact, we spoke about wealth creation. We said creating wealth has to do with finances, that's to do with family, that's to do with health. Now, we spoke about the three rules of creating wealth. Number one, we said time is more valuable than money. Number two, we said that focus on value instead of money. And number three, we said that sales is the greatest value in the whole world. And I believe these three concepts we've learned today, being the introduction of many yet to come, has really impacted your life. And if you have enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to like it. And don't forget to share with your friends. In fact, if you want to join this group of entrepreneurs we are training, new breed for the Ghanaian and also African community, reach out to us by WhatsApping us on the number shown on the screen. Thank you very much. See you in the next episode.